Well, hello there. I'm going to show you how to do my river melody stitch. And this is it right here. It's quite a pretty stitch. I can put my hand under it as well, and I can put it so you can see the stitch more against this background. It's a really, really pretty stitch. And it has texture. It doesn't curl. So I didn't really do any edge treatment, but you can if you like that look better. It has good stretch both ways. Okay, so it's a stitch video, so I'm not going to show you everything about it, but I'll give you enough that you can make a project. So I did a chain cast on, and I will link that on my channel with the matching bind off. Just scroll down in the description and you'll see the two links. So all I did was I cast on, went right into the stitch. So when you're done, you'll just make sure that your end row is the same row that you started with here, so that it will look exactly the same on the other end. And if you'd like to, you can do any kind of an edging that you would like with it. It works fine with no edging, so you don't have to. Pretty easy. I'm using one of the looms in the circle set. This is from the Doris set. And so it is the third one down, the 30, I think it is a 30 peg loom. And it's 3/4 inch, but it's a little tiny bit narrower than 3/4 inch when you get down here. Okay. And what else? Oh, the loom hook I'm using is a loom hook that was from We Have a Handle on This. They quit making them, but they're talking about making them again. And there's also very similar ones on Etsy. Okay. Oh, the inside of the stitch looks like this. It looks almost the same, actually, if you can see it here. So it's nicely, nicely reversible. Okay, so there you go. It'd be great for shawls, scarves. You can use it in the round, so make a nice cowl or a lacier type of hat or something. In the round, it's going to be very, very similar. Okay, so there you go. You got everything that you need. Won't be exactly the same, but it'll be similar enough they will blend together. Oh, the yarn, that's what I missed. Okay, the yarn I'm using is King Cole Riot Chunky. It is a number 5 yarn, not a thick one. It's a thinner number 5 yarn, but it is a bulky yarn. And it is 30% wool, 70% acrylic. And the color I'm using is called Rainbow. Okay, so it's got, I guess, most of the colors of the rainbow in it. Okay. It's a quite shiny yarn. It shows stitches well and looks quite luxurious. Okay, so this is a 3-row pattern. So I'm about to start row 1. So you've done your cast on, and then you need to do the row 1. Okay, and the row 1 is a row of purl. So to do purl, you've probably already done purl, but I'll show you how to do purl. I'll move in just a little bit closer here. Well, maybe that's a little bit too close. We don't want it to get blurry. Okay, so we're going to purl. So we put the, I think even a little bit further. It is a little bit blurry. There, let's try that. Okay, I'll put the loom hook under here and just scoop up the yarn and then put that new loop on the peg just like that. So loom hook under the loop, scoop up the working yarn. You've got a new loop here, and you just lift that up and slip it on. Loom hook under, scoop it up, slip it on. Okay, so that's the purl stitch. Okay, so row 1 is purl. Okay, and then whenever I use purl, usually I just slip the stitch because purl can give you a bumpy edge unless you use garter, and I didn't really want a garter border here, so I'm just going to, and even then it's a bit bumpy, but it kind of goes with it, so I'm just going to do an E-wrap and then go into my next row of stitch. So that's all I'm doing is slipping the stitches with an E-wrap. Just E-wrap and then come over to do your next stitch. That's a slipped edge. Okay, now the next stitch I'm going to do, row 2, is juniper berry. So to do my juniper berry stitch, you go over it, come behind, and go over the peg again with the working yarn. You now have 3 strands on the loom. 2 of the strands are from the working yarn coming and winding around, and the strand at the bottom is the loop that was already there. Okay, to do the Jupiter berry stitch, you're going to take the bottom loop and put it over the top, and then you're going to take the next loop and put it over, and you want to make sure it is the next loop and not the bottom loop, so you can pull on it and you'll see that it's moving that one, so that's the top. So then you take the next one over. Okay, we'll wind it around twice, bottom peg over, and then the next peg, the next loop over. Okay, here we go. Bottom, and then the next one over. Okay, so what's happening here is we're taking the loop that was already on, putting it over the next two, and now these are secured in here, even though they were the same strand wrapped around. And then we take this one over and tighten it slightly. Okay, that's all there is to Jupiter berry. You can just zip along doing this stitch. Very easy stitch. This is a very easy project, even though it's 3 rows. And then you're at the end, so I'm just going to do the E-wrap, knit it over, and then row 3 is juniper berry again. So that's your pattern. 1 row of purl to 2 rows of juniper berry. So a row of juniper berry. We're doing juniper berry this way. We just wrap it, take the bottom one over, and then the next one over. Wrap it, bottom one over, and the next one over. Wrap it, bottom one over, and the next one over. Very easy. And then we do the E-wrap for the edge. And that's the stitch pattern. 1 row of purl to 2 rows of juniper berry. Now you can see how much longer this is. When you do those 3 rows, there's the row of purl right there, and then the 2 rows of juniper berry. So it's quite a nice long piece. And if we stretch the stitches a little, I usually stretch them when they're off the loom, but if I stretch them a little, you'll be able to see the pattern a little bit better, just to see how textured it is. What a nice stitch it is. Really like this one. Okay, and I like the other side, so that's always a bonus. Okay, now we go back to row 1. So we've slipped the peg, so row 1 is purl. We just make the loop and put it over. So when you're purling this way, same thing, yarn goes under, scoop up the working yarn, make a new loop, and put it on. Okay, hook under, loop, take the loop, and slip it on. Okay, very easy. So this is your row 1 now. And then we're at the end, so you just do an E-wrap, knit it over, your end is slipped. Then you're on row 2, so juniper berry again. I'm just going to do this row a little bit faster now. You can always slow down the video, but by now I think you know how to do juniper berry. And if you ever get messed up, and that can happen, because once you put this one over, you could accidentally flip this bottom loop over the top. So if you're ever in doubt, pull it, and you'll see I'm pulling the working yarn here when I'm pulling this one, see? So that lets me know that this one goes over. Okay, and then I do the E-wrap edge, and then I do another row of juniper berry. And the last one, slip, and then you're ready to do a row of purl. So very, very easy. Look at how long we are now. Have a last look at the stitch here. You can see what it looks like. I don't want to get too close, but there you go. It has these nice little kind of round things here. Just really, really awesome stitch. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to make a shawl or a scarf with this stitch. But anyway, there you go. There's the stitch. You don't have to wait for me to make a project video. I've given you enough tips to just pick it up and use it. So have fun. And until next time, bye.